students, today I will be continuing the 9th standard science chapter atoms and molecules. I have started this chapter in the last class and we have discussed about what do you mean by atom and what are the properties of that atoms and how we can represent the atoms in the periodic table. Okay, what symbols we can use to represent certain elements. In today's class, let us discuss about the molecules. If we see around us, the atoms does not exist independently as a single element. Okay, always two or more atoms of an element exist. They will combine together and they will exist as a molecule. So these molecules we can see, we can feel and we can touch. For example, oxygen, the air what we breathe is a oxygen, that is a molecule. So that is a combination of two oxygen atoms. They are combined to form oxygen O2 molecule. O2 molecule that we breathe. So it does not, okay, that oxygen atom does not exist as a independent single atom. It always combined with another atom and it exists as a oxygen molecule. In our surroundings, the atoms does not exist as a single atom. They always exist as a molecule or as ions. They always combine with other atom or molecule and they will form new compound. We can give so many examples for the molecules, molecules, ions and these compounds. So in today's class, let us discuss more about these molecules, ions and compounds. Okay. Now let us discuss about what do you mean by molecule. Molecule is nothing but it is a group of two or more atoms combined to form a molecule. It is a combination of two or more atoms. They are combined by the strong attractive force between them. Okay, if I take hydrogen and oxygen, H2O, okay, water is containing two water molecule contains one hydrogen atom and two oxygen atoms, right? So it is a combination of two or more atoms. They are attracted, they are combined by the strong force of attraction. There is strong force of attraction between them. So because of that, they are capable of being closer to each other. So the molecule can be defined as it is a combination of it is a combination of two or more atoms. It could be the same atoms, combination of same atoms, or it could be the combination of different atoms. They are held together by the strong attractive forces. And these molecules, okay, the single molecule in the single molecule of an element that shows the properties of all the molecules, all the remaining molecules. Their property is similar in all the molecules of this single molecule of water. That shows the all properties of the atoms. That shows all properties of the elements in the given substance. Okay, if you take a bowl of water and if you consider one molecule of water in it, hydrogen and oxygen atoms are present, right? If you consider one molecule of water, this describes the properties of all the remaining molecules are there in the given substance. That shows up all properties of the given substance. So molecule shows the single atom of the single molecule of a given substance represents the properties of all the properties of the whole substance. So molecule, it could be joined by the combination of similar molecules, or it could be joined by the combination of different molecules. It could be joined by the combination of same atoms, or it could be combined by the combination of different atoms. Got it? So here the in the molecule of oxygen, in oxygen molecule O2, the atoms are similar. Here in the case of H2O molecule, the atoms are different, hydrogen and oxygen. Got it? Okay, if you take any substance, if you take any element, the molecules of that element constitute the same type of atoms. The molecules of the element consist of, if we take water as a substance, water as element, okay, it consists of same type of atoms, that is hydrogen and oxygen. You can see anywhere hydrogen and oxygen. Got it? So molecules of a element consist of same type of atoms, and here there are types. Molecules of some elements are monoatomic. If you take argon, then helium, then neon, okay, these are the monoatomic elements. Okay, these are the monoatomic elements. Here only single atom is present in the molecules of argon, neon and helium. Only single atom is present. So some molecules consist of 2 atoms and some molecules consist of 3 atoms, like that. Okay, so we can see the varieties, we can see the types in atoms. So the number of atoms constituting a molecule is known as its atomicity. The number of atoms constituting a molecule is known as atomicity. So I will take means one single atom is bonded with other elements, other atoms. One single atom is bonded with other atom, that is nothing but atomicity. So let's take few example and let's learn more about this atomicity. So for example, non-metals such as argon, it is monoatomic, it independently exists. Helium also monoatomic, oxygen is diatomic, hydrogen is diatomic, nitrogen is diatomic, chlorine is diatomic, phosphorus is tetraatomic, sulfur is polyatomic. Okay, because its valency is also 1, 2, 3, like that, it varies. That is the reason. In a given element, the different atoms combine to form the molecules of a compound. If you take water as a compound, okay, here the compound water consists of different atoms, which are they? Hydrogen and oxygen. So the atoms of different elements combine to form a molecules of a compound. Atoms of different elements combine to form the molecules of a compound. If you take water as a compound, here you can see hydrogen and oxygen. Here it consists of hydrogen atom and oxygen atom. Okay, now let's see few examples. Molecules of some compounds. So if you take the compound as water, H2O, it is a combination of hydrogen and oxygen elements. So and they are in the ratio 1:8, ratio by mass. Its ratio of mass is 1:8. They combine with the ratio of mass 1:8. Second example, ammonia. Ammonia chemical formula is NH3. It is a combination of nitrogen and hydrogen. There is one nitrogen atom and three hydrogen atoms. So they combined with the ratio of mass 14:3. Third example, carbon dioxide, CO2. There is one carbon atom and 2 oxygen atoms. Okay, now let's see the activity 3.6. Let us check the
postulate of Dalton's theory. In the fifth postulate, he told that atoms combine in the ratio of small whole numbers to form compounds. So atoms combine in the ratio of small whole number to form the compounds. Now let's see the correctness of the postulate. So when we take the example of compound water, there are elements which are the hydrogen and oxygen. The ratio by mass of hydrogen atom is 1, atomic mass is 1 atomic unit. So when you take the ratio, mass ratio divided by atomic mass, 1 divided by 1 is equal to 1. So they combined with a simple ratio of 1:1. Simplest ratio is 2. Then if you take oxygen atom, ratio by mass is 8 and atomic mass is 16. So mass ratio 8 divided by 16 is equal to 1/2. So the simple ratio is 1. Thus the ratio by number of atoms for water is H:O. They are combined with the ratio 2:1.
The next concept is, what do you mean by ion? Okay, the compounds composed of metals and non-metals. Okay, the compound consists of metals and non-metal. When we add metal and non-metal, we get the compound, right? So the compound composed of metal and non-metal, they contain charged species. Okay, they contain charged species. So this charged species is nothing but ions. The charged species are nothing but ions. The compound composed of metal and non-metal forms a compound, right? They contain charged species. So this charged species is nothing but ions. So what do you mean by ion? Ion is nothing but the charged species. So it consists of some charges. So it could be positive or it could be negative. So when you combine two atoms, they consist of some charged species. So that charged species is nothing but the ions. So all the metals and non-metal, they consist of some charged particles, that is ions. It could be positive or it could be negative. So the positive ion is nothing but positive ion, we call it as cation. Positive ion we call it as cation, and the negative ion we call it as anion. Let's take few examples to understand what do you mean by cation and anion. If I take the example of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is a compound. It consists of sodium molecule and chlorine molecule, right? So sodium is positively charged and charge of chlorine is negative. So it consists of one positive ion. Sodium consists of one positive ion, and here chlorine consists of one negative ion. That is, sodium is a cation and chlorine is a anion. So when they combine, they form the compound. So all the elements, all the compounds are composed of one or more number of ions in them. When they combine, they will combine together and form the compound.
Ions may consist of a single charged atom or a group of atoms that have a net charge on them. For example, if I take sodium Na is a single atom and it is having a charge +1. If I take the example of hydroxide ion, there is one oxygen atom and hydrogen atom. Together it consists of a charge -1. You can see in the picture now. A group of atoms carrying a charge is known as polyatomic ion. See here, group of atoms. Here in this picture you can see within one compound, within one element there is two or three atoms are present. They consist of single charge. For example, here sulfate ion, SO4 2 minus ion, sulfate ion.
Now let us discuss about the ions present in the molecules.
So in this picture you can see these are the ionic compounds. So ionic compound, calcium oxide, it constitutes calcium and oxygen element. They combined with a ratio by mass 5:2. Second one, magnesium sulfide. Here the elements are magnesium and sulfur. They combine by the ratio by mass 3:4. Similarly, sodium chloride. Here the elements are sodium and chlorine. They combine by the ratio of mass 23:35.5.
Okay, to understand about how to write the chemical formula of a compound, they have given one example. Human beings was caught by this octopus. Okay, 4 human beings are caught by this octopus. So the valency of this octopus is O. I can write the formula as OH4. Or instead of that, so the capacity of octopus is holding 4 people. So this is the capacity. So the valency of octopus is 4. Valency of octopus is 4 here, and the valency of hydrogen is 1 here. Valency of human being is 1 here because it was caught by one octopus. Here the valency of octopus is 4 because it was catching 4 people, and the valency of human being is 1 because it was catching only one octopus. So this is what valency. Valency is nothing but it's a capacity of catching hold, capacity of receiving the thing, or capacity of accepting the ions, capacity of sharing the ions while when it combining, when the molecule is combined, when there is a combination of the compound.
So the valency is nothing but the capacity of accepting or giving the ions, the capacity of receiving or giving the ions. So in this table you can see the names and symbol of some ions. Observe these ions, names and ions. This will help you to write the chemical formula of the compound.
Okay, we have to follow certain rules. The first rule is, okay, the valency or the charge of the ion must be balanced. The charge of ion must be balanced. And when you take the compound which is combined by one metal and non-metal, you have to see that you are writing the metal first. If I take sodium chloride, you are always writing sodium first. Sodium is a metal and chloride is a non-metal. So like this way you have to write. Or AgCl, silver chloride, or AgNO3, silver nitrate. You are writing the metal first and the non-metal next. You are writing the positively charged cation first and the negatively charged anion next. This is the second condition. The next condition, in compounds formed with the polyatomic ions, the ion is enclosed in a bracket before writing the number to indicate the ratio. When you write the compound which is formed by the polyatomic ion, what you have to do? The ion is enclosed in the bracket before writing the number to indicate the ratio. So these are the conditions. So these are the conditions while writing the chemical formula of a compound. Okay, the compounds which are made up of. Now let us discuss about the formula, how to write the formula of simple compounds. Okay, the compounds which are made up of two different atoms is known as binary compounds. The compounds which are made up of two different atoms is known as binary compounds. Now let us see how to write the chemical formula of simple compounds. Let's take the example and let's take the valency from the table and we'll try to write the chemical formula of few compounds. Now I will take the example of hydrochloric acid, HCl. Okay, we know the formula of hydrochloric acid, that is HCl. How to write the symbol of, here we consider hydrogen as a metal, hydrogen, and chlorine symbol is Cl. Hydrogen symbol is H and chlorine symbol is Cl. And valency. Valency of hydrogen is +1 and valency of chlorine is -1. So when you write the chemical formula, what happens? What happens? H first, because we consider it as metal and chlorine is a non-metal, and we have to exchange the valency of this. So when you exchange the valency of it, when you give this valency of chlorine to valency of hydrogen to chlorine, valency of chlorine to hydrogen, what happens? It gets cancelled and it will become just HCl. No need to mention H -1 and Cl +1. So when it is +1 or -1, no need to mention. You just write HCl. Got it? Okay, now let's see the formula of carbon tetrachloride. So here what is there? Carbon is there and tetrachloride is there. So the symbol of carbon is C and chloride is Cl. And valency of carbon is 4 and chloride is -1. So when you exchange, what happens? You can write the formula as CCl, and you are giving this valency of this to this, so it will become CCl4. Here no need to mention -1. Whenever it is +1 or -1, don't write. When it is more than 1, you have to mention CCl4. You are writing the valency of this. We are giving the valency of this to chlorine, so it will become, you have to mention the valency of carbon to here. Okay, it get exchanged. It was equally distributed. It gets exchanged to this chlorine atom. The valency of this is shared by the chlorine. That is why CCl4. Got it? Okay, now let's see the formula. How to write the formula of magnesium chloride. So the symbol of magnesium is Mg and symbol of chloride is Cl. Valency of magnesium is 2 +2 and the valency of chlorine is -1. Okay, metal always positively charged ion. Metal is a positively charged ion. So you have to exchange now. Exchange the valency of this and write the chemical formula. Mg and Cl comes next. Magnesium is a metal and chlorine is a non-metal. And share these ions. Okay, the charge was shared between this magnesium and chlorine. So it will become Cl2 and here -1. So no need to mention, MgCl2 is the formula of magnesium chloride. Formula of aluminium oxide. Aluminium symbol is Al and oxide symbol is O. Here the symbol of aluminium is Al, oxide O, and then charge of aluminium is +3 and the charge of oxygen is -2. Got it? So exchange the charge now. So aluminium is a metal, oxygen is a non-metal, and when you exchange the charge, it will become Al2 and O3. Al2O3 is the formula of aluminium oxide. Got it? The formula of sodium nitrate. Okay, how to write? Symbol of sodium is Na and nitrate is NO3. The symbol of nitrate is NO3. Got it? And then charge of sodium is +1 and NO3 is -1. Together it is -1. So when they exchange their valency, when they exchange their charge, the formula will become NaNO3. NaNO3 is the formula of sodium nitrate. Okay, formula of ammonium sulfate. How to write? Ammonium symbol is NH3 and sulfate SO4. And the charge of ammonia is charge of ammonia is +1 and the charge of SO4 sulfate is 2-. So when you write the chemical formula, their charge get exchanged and you have to write NH4, NH3 to SO4. Got it? NH4, NH3 in the bracket 2, SO4, NH3 in the bracket outside the bracket 2, SO4. This is how ammonium sulfate can be written in the formula. The next concept is molecular mass. We have discussed about what do you mean by atomic mass. Atomic mass is nothing but it is a mass of the atom. Similarly, the molecular mass is nothing but it is a mass of all the atoms in a given molecules.
So, the meaning of molecular mass is it is the sum of atomic masses of all the atoms in a molecule of a substance. It is the sum of atomic masses of all the atoms in a molecule of a substance.
So, if you take a substance, water, there are which and all molecules are there? Hydrogen and oxygen molecules are there. So it is the sum of all the molecules of all the atoms of hydrogen and oxygen. It is the sum of all the atoms of, it is the sum of all the molecules, it is the sum of all the atoms present in a given molecule of a substance. So, and it is relatively, therefore it is relatively measured in atomic unit. So, it is measured in atomic unit, that is U. It is measured in atomic unit. Got it? Since it is a sum of all the atoms of the molecules in a given substance, it is relatively expressed in atomic unit. The molecular mass is relatively expressed in atomic unit, that is U. Got it? I will solve few problems in your textbook. One example is given. Calculate the relative molecular mass of water. Okay, the formula of water is H2O and the atomic mass of, we know atomic mass of hydrogen is 1 unit and the atomic mass of oxygen is 16 unit. So What do you mean by molecular mass? Molecular mass is equal to mass is the sum of all atoms in the molecules of the element. All atoms, right? Sum of all atoms of a molecule. Molecules of a substance. So, which are the elements are there? Which are the atoms are there? Hydrogen and oxygen. So, molecular mass is equal to sum of all the atoms of a molecules of a substance. So, here hydrogen and oxygen molecule is there. So, the hydrogen atomic mass is atomic masses, sum of all atomic masses of a molecule. Sum of all the atomic masses of a molecules of a substance, right? Here the atomic mass of hydrogen is 1U, and how many atoms is there? 1 only. And atomic mass of oxygen is 16. And how many oxygen atoms are there? 1 only. But hydrogen is 2. So what I have to write here? How many hydrogen atoms are there? 2 hydrogen atoms. So 2 into 1. Atomic mass of 1 hydrogen is 1U plus how many oxygen atom is there? 1 atom. So 1 into 16U. So it will gives you 2U plus 16U, that is equal to 18U. 18 atomic unit. So the molecular mass of water is 18 unit. 18 atomic unit. How you got that? There are 2 hydrogen atoms. 2 into 1U plus 1 into 16U. So 2U plus 16U, 18 atomic unit. That is a molecular mass of water. Okay, the next one, calculate the molecular mass of nitric acid, HNO3. Calculate the molecular mass of nitric acid. So the molecular mass is equal to atom. See here, molecular mass of nitric acid is equal to, it is a sum of atomic mass of hydrogen atom, atomic mass of nitrogen atom, atomic mass of oxygen, and there are 3 oxygen atoms are there. So atomic mass of hydrogen is 1U, 1 atomic unit, and atomic mass of nitrogen is 14 unit, and the atomic mass of 3 into atomic mass of 1 oxygen is how much? 16 unit. So total it will gives you 1 atomic unit plus 14 atomic unit plus 16 threes are how much? 48 unit. 48 plus 14 plus 1. That is equal to how much? 63 atomic unit. So the atomic unit of nitric acid is 63. So the molecular mass of nitric acid is 63 atomic unit. 63. So the molecular mass of nitric acid is 63 atomic unit. Okay, the next concept is formula unit mass. Okay, this is also used to measure the mass of the compound, and it is used to measure the formula unit mass is nothing but it is a sum of atomic masses of all the atoms in a formula unit of a compound. Okay, if you take any compounds, there are molecules, there are atoms. So here we consider here also it is similar to the molecular mass. We consider the sum of atomic masses of all the units, all the atoms in the given compound. And this is special, particularly it is used for the compounds which having the ions, which constitute ions, the particles which constitute ions. So whenever the compound constitute ions, there we use this formula unit mass to measure the mass of that compound. Got it? That is the difference between molecular mass and formula unit mass. Okay, let us discuss about the mole concept. Okay, what do you mean by mole concept? I will give an example. Let me take the example of this water. So, two hydrogen atoms combines with one oxygen molecule gives the water molecule. Okay, so here two hydrogen atoms and combines with the one oxygen molecule gives the one molecule of water. Here the molecular mass of hydrogen is 4 atomic unit. Molecular mass of this oxygen is 32 atomic unit, and it gives the water molecule having the molecular mass of 34 atomic unit. So here we know the unit. Here we know the atomic mass and atomic molecular mass of the compound. This much mass of water hydrogen reacted with the oxygen gives the water molecule. So here we know in terms of quantity, in terms of mass, right? So in terms of mass it is given. And in the chemical reaction, when we consider considering in terms of mass is little difficult. We have to weigh and we have to find out. So see, if you when you are taking any bangles or eggs and all, we consider in terms of dozen, right? We don't weigh that egg or the bangles. Instead of that, it is very easy to consider in terms of dozen, right? 1 dozen means it is very easy to understand. 1 dozen means there are 12 number of eggs, there are 12 bangles, like that. So that is convenient, that is very easy, right? So instead of considering the quantity in terms of mass, it is better to consider the quantity in terms of number of atoms, number of molecules reacting in the chemical reaction, like that. So they introduce the concept of mole. So 1 mole is nothing but, they introduce the concept of mole. 1 mole is equal to, it is just a number. It represents a number of atoms reacting in a reacting in a chemical reaction. So 1 mole is nothing but, it is a number that it is a number that means 1 mole is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. So 1 mole is nothing but 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. It could be atom, or it could be molecule, or it could be a particle. So it is this 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 is considered as it is a Avogadro number, because this concept, mole concept, is given by the scientist named Avogadro. So this number is known as Avogadro number, and this 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 that is equal to 1 mole. So we can define this Avogadro number as, it is defined as the number of atoms exactly in 12 gram of carbon-12 isotope. This is nothing but, here what they did, they took 12 gram of carbon-12 isotope. The number of atoms in carbon-12 isotope, the number of atoms in 12 gram of carbon-12 isotope, they have taken it as a constant, and using that, by relating that number of atoms in the carbon isotope, they'll measure the they'll count the number of atoms in other molecules. Here they considered this carbon 12 isotope, the number of atoms in carbon 12 isotope as a constant, and using that, by considering this as a standard, they'll measure the number of atoms in they'll measure the number of atoms in other they'll measure the number of atoms in other atoms they'll measure the number of atoms in other atoms, other molecules. Got it? So here they considered this as a constant. So the mass of 1 mole of substance is equal to the relative atomic mass in grams. So if you take any substance, if you consider the molecular mass or the atomic mass, that you take in molecular mass or the atomic mass, that you consider in atomic unit. But instead of that, here we measure the atomic mass or the molecular mass in terms of grams. We will compare the mass of that substance with the mass of 12 gram of carbon isotope. Here we get the relative atomic mass in grams. Here we get the, in molecular mass or in atomic mass, we get the mass, atomic mass or the molecular mass in atomic mass unit, here in terms of grams. So now let's take few example and let us clarify your doubt. If I consider the example of water molecules, its molecular mass is how much? Molecular mass is 18 atomic unit. So what 18 atomic unit of water consists of? 1 molecule of water, right? So 18 unit of water consists of 1 molecule of water. So similarly, here what happens? 18 gram of water consists of 1 molecule of 1 mole molecule of water. So that is nothing but 6 into 10 to 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of water. So what does it mean? Molecular mass of water is 18 atomic unit. That means 18 atomic unit of water consists of 1 molecule of water is there. In this much 18 atomic unit of water consists of 1 molecule of water. That also 18 gram of water consists of 1. When it changes to gram, it will become 1 mole molecule of water. So 1 mole molecule of water is nothing but 18 gram of water consists of 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of water is there in 18 gram of water. Got it? So in 18 gram of water, this many number of molecules of water is present. This number is not small. It is 10 to the power 23, means 6.60230000, like that it goes. It is a big number. Okay, now let us solve few problems in this chapter. Calculate the number of moles for the 52 gram of helium. Here you have to find the mole from mass. Okay, so whenever you find the mole from mass, you have to use this formula. Number of moles is equal to given mass divided by molar mass. So what is given? Number of moles that you are going to find out, that is N. Then given mass of the object is 52 gram, and molar mass of helium is how much, that you should know. Then given number of particles is represented by capital N. So Avogadro number of particles is N0. Avogadro number of particles is represented by N0. And the given number of particles, capital N. So here you have to find out the mole from the mass. the number of moles is not given, that is n is not given. That is equal to to find the mole you have to divide the given mass from the molar mass. Given mass is 52 gram of helium. Given mass is 52 gram, that is equal to 52, and the molar mass of helium is how much? Molar mass of helium is 4. Okay, in molar mass means in helium atom how much amount of what is the molecular mass of that? Helium atomic number is 2, so the atomic mass is 4. Molecular mass of helium is 4. Got it? So 52 divided by 4 is equal to how much? That is 13. Got it? 4 ones are 4 13s are. So the number of moles is 13. This is the number, so there is no unit for that. Second one, calculate the number of moles for the 12.044 into 10 to the power 23 number of helium atoms. Okay, here you have to find the moles, number of moles from the number of particles. Okay, the number of particles is given, from that you have to find the moles of helium atom. So we represent number of moles in small n, mass, given mass in m, molar mass in capital M, given number of particles is capital N, and Avogadro number of particles is n naught. Then 1 mole is equal to, we know that 1 mole is equal to 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Then the number of moles is equal to, when they give number of particles and when they ask you to find the number of moles, you have to use this formula. The number of moles is equal to given number of particles divided by Avogadro number. So the given number of particles is how much? 12.044 into 10 to the power 23. Then Avogadro number 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So when you divide 6.022 into 10 to the power 3 ones are, this is 2s are. So the number of moles of helium atoms is 2 moles. Got it? So here this many number of particles contain 2 moles of helium atom. Got it?
Now I will explain you the example 3.4 in your textbook. Calculate the mass of the following. First question, 0.5 mole of nitrogen gas, N2 gas. Mass from mole of molecule. You have to find the mass from mole of molecule. So now let's see the first problem, how to solve it. Mass is equal to, we know the formula, mass is equal to molar mass into number of moles. Okay, when you are finding the mass is equal to molar mass into, you have to multiply the molecular mass or the molar mass into number of moles. So mass is equal to, small m is equal to capital M, that is molar mass, into n. N is the number of moles. So it is given, the molar mass of the nitrogen gas is, we know that it is nitrogen, molecular mass of nitrogen, one atomic mass of nitrogen is 14. So molecular mass of nitrogen N2 is 28. 28 into how much mole? Number of moles is given, that is 0.5 mole. So you have to multiply 28 into 0.5, that is equal to 14 gram. Second problem, 0.5 mole of nitrogen atom. You have to find the mass from mole of an atom. Here it is mass from the mole of molecule. Here it is mass from mole of atom. So mass is equal to molar mass into number of moles. The formula is similar. So mass is equal to m into n. That is equal to, here molar mass is how much? There is single atom is there, nitrogen, that is 14 into 0.5. So 14 into 0.5 is equal to 7 gram. Third one, 3.011 into 10 to the power 23 number of nitrogen atoms. You have to find the mass from number. 3.011 into 23 number of nitrogen atoms. Mass from number you have to find out. So the number of moles N is equal to given number of particles divided by Avogadro number, that is equal to N divided by N naught. So given number of particles, it is 3.011 into 10 to the power 23. Then Avogadro number is how much? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. The number of particles of nitrogen is 3.011 into 10 to the power 23, and the Avogadro number we know, that is 3.011 into 10 to the power 23. Then divided by 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. Then we are going to find the number of moles. That is equal to, how to find? M is equal to M into N. M is 14 and N is equal to this whole thing, 3.011 into 10 to the power 23 divided by 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So when you solve this, you will get the solution 14 into 0.5. Okay, 3.011 into 10 to the power 23, 1s are, this is 2s are. So 1 by 2, that is nothing but 0.5. 14 into 0.5 is equal to 7 grams. So the number of moles of nitrogen is 14 is 7 gram. Fourth one, 2.022 into 10 to the power 23 number of nitrogen, N2 molecules. Mass from numbers you have to find out. Number of particles is given. Okay. Mass from number. Mass you have to find out from number. So the number of moles N is equal to N divided by N naught. So M is equal to find the mass is equal to molar mass M into N by N naught. So molar mass is 28 into N by N naught is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 divided by N naught is also same thing, 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. This is given and this is Avogadro number. So when you solve this, this get cancels and you will get 28 into 1. 28 into 1 is equal to 28 gram. Mass in gram. Got it? Then fifth example 3.5. Calculate the number of particles in each of the following. First one is 46 gram of sodium atoms. You have to find the number from mass. You have to find the number of particles from mass. So how to solve this? The number of atoms is equal to given mass divided by molar mass into Avogadro number. So number of atoms N is equal to small m divided by capital M into N naught. So N is equal to M is, here the mass is 46, that is given. Given mass is 46 gram. M divided by, and molar mass is how much? 23. Molar mass of sodium is, so 46 divided by 23 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So that is equal to, the number of atoms is equal to, when you solve this you will get the number of atoms, that is 12.044 into 10 to the power 23. That is the number of atoms in sodium atom. Then the second question, 8 gram oxygen molecule, number of particles of molecules from mass. Okay, number of molecules from mass you have to find out. So the solution is the number of molecules is equal to given mass divided by molar mass into Avogadro number. So the given the number of molecules n is equal to given mass represented by small m and the molar mass by capital M into Avogadro number n naught. So the atomic mass of oxygen is equal to 16 atomic unit. Therefore molar mass of oxygen molecule is equal to 16 into 2, that is equal to 32 gram. So n is equal to 8 divided by 32 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. N is equal to 1.5055 into 10 to the power 23. That is equal to 1.51 into 10 to the power 23. So that is the molar mass of oxygen molecule. Third one, 0.1 mole of carbon atoms number from given moles. Third problem, 0.1 mole of carbon atoms number of particles from a given moles. So moles is given, you have to find the number of particles from it. So the number of particles or the atoms is equal to number of moles of particles into Avogadro number. So the number of particles n is equal to n into n naught, that is equal to 0.1 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. So when you solve this, when you multiply, you will get the solution, that is equal to the number of particles in 0.1 mole of carbon atoms is 6.022 into 10 to the power 22. Got it?
Dear students, in this chapter we have studied about what do you mean by atoms, what do you mean by molecules, and how to find the atomic mass of an atom, how to find the molecular mass of the atom, then what do you mean by mole, what do you mean by formula atomic mass, and how to solve the problems in how to solve the problems under mole concept. Okay, if you have any doubts, please ask me. Thank you, students.